Hey, MarknAmy here, bringing family-friendly content with a focus on married life. We're bringing the Bible into this one. Big time. If your marriage is going to be successful, this is where the rubber meets the road. Ephesians 5:22 says this, "Wives, submit to your own husbands as to the Lord. For the husband is head of the wife, as also Christ is head of the church. Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ also loved the church, and gave himself for her." Love your wives the way Christ loved the church.
And you know how Christ loved the church? He laid down his life for it. If my husband is my covering, is my protection, is willing to lay his life down for me, loves me unconditionally, then that's an environment that's created that allows me to feel comfortable to say, okay, I trust you.
That is really how Christ loved the church. It was an unconditional love. The husband's love for his wife needs to be unconditional.
I asked you before, I said, would you take a bullet for me? And you said, yeah, sure, I'll take a bullet for you. And then you asked me, will you take a bullet for me? I said, no, that's not my responsibility. My responsibility is to get behind you.
Yeah, I'll take a bullet for you, but no one's waving a gun when I said that, so. So it was easy for me to say that.
And then my job is then to protect the children.
Let's get in a squirrely situation and see what I actually do. But I won't use you as a human shield.
Sing like a bird, you will, yeah. Husbands want to feel respected, and wives want to feel safe and loved. And if a woman doesn't feel safe, how can she possibly submit? How can she possibly put herself in a vulnerable position if she doesn't feel safe? And vice versa, how can a man feel respected if a woman is going to go and do everything that she wants to do and completely disregards everything that he says? It is definitely a team thing here. It's not just rules for the wife to submit. This is a two-way thing here. This is, there's a responsibility on the husband and there's a responsibility on the wife. And if both aren't acting in balance, you're going to have a real problem. You're either going to have a husband that thinks he's God and can tell you whatever and expect it, which is totally out of balance, or you're going to have a wife that says, I'm my own woman, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. No, when you're married, you become one. And this is where this now is applicable, because now you each have a role to play. And the role is very significant and very important. And it's important that we take these roles very seriously.
Yeah, and I think you can trace back just about any failure in marriage to this particular scripture, because once these things get out of alignment, then it's very easy for other things to happen. And not to say that this is going to be something that you do perfectly, like...
We mess up all the time.
It's...
Well, you do.
It's not done perfectly. And, yes, I'm going to be selfish, and I'm going to want to do things my way. I'm going to want to put me first. Pray and ask God, Lord, help me. Till death do us part. Help me to be the husband that you want me to be, and empower me to do that. Show me how to do that. I don't know how to love my wife unconditionally. I don't know what that means. All we do is fight, or we don't see eye to eye on anything. Help me love my wife the way you loved me. Help me to do that. Show me how to do that. I believe it so strongly. If you sincerely in your heart cry out to God with that kind of prayer, he'll begin to show you. That's the scary part, because he'll start showing you. And then it's like, oh,
I need to change some things.
Some stuff I need to do. When your wife examines the relationship, she should get this sense that he would do anything for me. He would do anything. He could be on the way to anywhere, and it could be the most important meeting, it could be anything. And if I call and needed him, he'd turn around and come home.
You've done that.
I have done that. But what I'm saying is...
You have.
What I'm saying is your wife there should be no doubt in her mind that if she called and said, I need you, that you wouldn't come up with 100 excuses, be like, well, you can take care of this. No. Like that's the kind of stuff I think is really, really important, that she understands and would know. I have complete confidence that when she called upon me, that she knows I would be there. If you're thinking, you know what, I really need to examine how I'm loving my spouse, hit that thumbs up button, one of those.
And when you think that you're doing it perfectly, that's a dangerous place to be.
You're not.
There's always room to grow. There's always, yeah, we're always growing. Life is changing, so that means that we have to change too. So.
Yeah, going into this next season of life that we're headed into, going into 2021 and beyond, if you're gonna have a successful marriage, it's, you know, you can read all the books in the world, all the self-help books. You can watch MarknAmy on YouTube for all next year. We'll have videos all next year about helping with marriage. But if you don't do this one thing, like, forget about it. Don't bother reading, listening. Like, you need to do this one thing. That's how important it is. If you could just do this one thing and that's it, is look at this scripture and say, God, help me love my wife the way you have wanted me to love her, the way you love me. And as a wife, God, help me submit to my husband in a godly way. Like, that is so, so vital. If you can nail that one thing down and pursue that, you'll definitely see change in your marriage. Check out our 7 Habits of a Highly Successful Marriage. It's in the description below. It's our free gift to you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Pray and ask God, Lord, help me. God, help me. Show me how to do this. How do I love my wife? Like, God will show you. He will show you. He will lead you to himself. And when you're led to him, then he will show you how to love someone else.